The most important aspect of leadership is the relationship developed between management and employees. This relationship determines the organization's efficiency, discipline, safety, security, productivity, essentially all aspects of the operations. This program is designed to provide an overview of how these relationships occur and the basic psychology of human behavior. If you understand human behavior, you'll be on your way to understanding the many different personalities of the employees you supervise. Every person is different, with different wants and needs, and differing levels of supervisory requirements. This program will not cover each element of human behavior or the many theories of psychology, but we will provide some understanding of the more common theories, so you'll be better equipped to understand why your employees act and perform their jobs the way they do. The objective is to understand your employees and the leadership requirements necessary for dealing with each different personality. Some of the more recognizable names in management theories have been Maslow, McGregor, Hawthorne, HERZBERG, and others. These theories focus on the motivational processes involved in the work environment. Abraham Maslow believed that people continually seek the satisfaction of certain needs. People would progress upward from certain basic lower-level needs to higher-level needs. Maslow listed his hierarchy of needs in ascending order as physiological, safety, social, esteem, and the need for self-actualization. Unless the most fundamental needs, such as food, water, shelter, and sleep are met, people cannot strive for higher need levels. If you're hungry and starving to death, you're not even thinking about growth potential, a job, or other needs. Safety from danger and insecurities is important. As these lower basic needs are met, people then begin to seek social needs or belonging to a group. This leads to the experience of self-worth, competence, and being recognized and respected by others. This need area can be satisfied partly by supervisors. Self-worth, dignity, appreciation for work, these are leadership responsibilities. The higher level of needs is called self-actualization, or the fulfillment of their inner selves. This higher level of satisfaction isn't measurable, but people who reach this level are pretty much satisfied with their lives. Some people never reach true self-actualization. Maslow's theory believes when individuals do the work that leads to the satisfaction of their needs, they make good contributions to their organizations.
Maslow's belief was that these needs could be finely graded. Most recent research indicates that there's really only two levels of needs. The more basic security kind of level of needs and a more refined self-fulfillment level of needs. In other words, it's fairly clear that when people's basic needs for food, security are not met, that they will struggle to meet those first before they consider higher level needs. Once those basic needs are met, it's not clear what kinds of needs will come into play next, whether it be more money, whether it be more education, whether it be more power.
Generally, supervisors cannot control the basic fundamentals of food, water, sleep, or shelter, or the basic safety needs, but can contribute to the social needs of belonging, respect, dignity, and other needs over which you do have control. Douglas McGregor's theory, called X and Y theory, gives further understanding about motivation. He indicates that a supervisor's style reflects his assumptions about people. The theory X assumes people need authority to motivate them. This style says people avoid work and responsibility. Control is the motivator. They should be rewarded for successes and punished for mistakes. The theory Y supervisor assumes people prefer to discipline themselves through self-direction and self-control. This supervisor allows people to respond to a more positive approach. People can enjoy their work with higher expectations and self-responsibility which will result in greater production. You've all seen both styles of X and Y management applications.
Douglas McGregor came up with the concept that people like to be led, not driven. And his concept of leadership had to do with a understanding and caring for the employee.
The Hawthorne studies give another view of motivation and productivity. Working conditions have less effect on output than worker attitudes. When work has purpose and there is concern for workers, productivity increases. An example of the Hawthorne studies is the changing of lights or the intensity of lighting in the work environment. Each time lighting was changed, productivity increased. The lights had nothing to do with the increased productivity, but the employee's perception that management was interested in improving working conditions actually created increased productivity.
The Hawthorne studies were conducted in the 1930s, and the idea of the studies was that personal attention given to workers and caring for them in their job situation improves their productivity. The specific results of the studies have been questioned, but the general concept still holds true, that a supervisor that demonstrates caring to the employee will get more results from those employees in the long run.
Frederick HERZBERG found that people felt good about their jobs when progress was being made. Two sets of factors, job content and hygiene or maintenance factors, contributed to productivity. Achievement, growth, recognition, responsibility, and advancement were motivators. These job content factors gave satisfaction to the employees. Hygiene or maintenance factors were mostly pay, benefits, and working conditions. These maintenance factors didn't produce improvements in worker attitudes or performance, but they merely prevented dissatisfaction and poor morale. They were related to the work environment, not the work itself.
HERZBERG's concept was that there were aspects of the job that are motivating and aspects of the job which are demotivating. He called the motivators satisfiers, and he called those demotivators dissatisfiers. His idea was that there's many aspects of the job that present barriers to work that simply dissatisfy employees. Once removed, they really don't motivate them.
There are other management theories, including goal setting, praising, reprimands, and others, but the important point to gain from these different theories is how employees look at their organization, what they see, and how they are treated at work. Each supervisor is unique, with a different personality. Each supervisor has different education and experience levels, different growth environments, different goals. Each person is unique. It would be impossible to assign a supervisor a certain management style, Maslow for you, HERZBERG for you, McGregor X theory for you, and so on. And that's not the real purpose of reviewing the different theories. Take what you can from each to make your own style of leadership that fits your experience and personality. In the leadership business, nothing is cast in stone. More information on leadership simply gives you more knowledge to improve upon your own style of leadership.
I think that the various motivational theories that have been developed over the last 40 to 50 years really boil down into a few basic ideas. The first is that a supervisor is really a leader. Their job is to help people do their job. It's not to drive them to do their job. A supervisor that is effective, no matter what their basic management style is a coach, a trainer, and a person who is concerned about improvement and is seeking constantly to remove the barriers that get in the way of the subordinate being able to do their job effectively, is concerned about giving clear job instructions, and wants to take special care in providing feedback on how the employees are doing and to give recognition where it's due.
The supervisor has one golden rule, started out many, many, many years ago, and it's get the job done through people. That is your goal. Now, how do you do that? is you have to work with them. You have to motivate them. You have to give them a direction. And as you do this, your environment would be created that everyone wants to do a good job and work together to get the job done, regardless of what it is.
You've all heard remarks about others. This guy is easygoing and great to work for, and his department is always outstanding. This supervisor is mean and nasty and never has nice things to say to anyone, but he gets the job done and his employees understand him, so there's no problem. This supervisor is knowledgeable, a great person, and she's really on the ball, has a great department. There's no one perfect management style. There are many pitfalls, and there are many bad supervisors because they don't understand people. All of us must relate to the world around us as it really is. The reality is people. Managing people is the most difficult job you can have. People's attitudes and perceptions are a primary cause of an organization's successes or failures. That should alert you to an important supervisory function of developing good attitudes and perceptions of your employees. How do you go about that task? Important as they are, all of life's relationships are based upon how we feel about ourselves. Each individual has learned concepts about relating to others. Essential to understanding others is understanding ourselves. The feedback we get, the way others respond to us, develops our own self-image. We humans constantly modify our self-image to fit this response from others. The image others project to us causes anxiety and confusion as we try to meet their expectations. We may be pulled in different directions by people who are important to us. In many relationships, people see us differently than we see ourselves. Developing skills in relating to others is critical if you manage people. Feedback and how you react to feedback is the beginning of communications with others. Let's give you an example. One of your employees gives you an idea, and you thank the employee for the idea. You don't follow through, and you never mention it again to the employee. Perhaps the idea was not feasible and wouldn't work, but the mistake you made was not communicating this to the employee. The employee takes this minor incident and perceives of you as a person that will not listen or care about that person. A perception is born and will remain with that employee until you do something to change the perception. You probably won't get any more ideas from that employee either. You may have the perception that you're a good listener, you're caring, and you want employees to make suggestions and recommendations. That's your perception. What's important is the employee's perception. How do consultants and specialists go into a company, find out what's wrong, and make corrections? It's simple. You talk to employees and determine their perceptions. You ask them one question. If you could wave a magic wand, what would you like to see changed? Generally, they'd like to see some management changes in the way they're treated, and they have a few other complaints. You ask the same question to supervisors, and they give their perceptions. Generally, the employees are lazy, don't come to work on time, or they're absent a lot, and other complaints. Next, you ask the same question to top management, and they give their perceptions. Generally, their complaints range from supervisors who can't get the job done on time, waste of materials and money, employee problems, and so on. The consultant takes all this information, analyzes it, and develops a program to get all the perceptions on the same wavelength. Now, this is oversimplified, but basically, that's how to solve people problems. You must first determine perceptions, then develop communications to bridge the gaps. If a supervisor perceives that everything is going great and the employees perceive that everything is going wrong, it tends to create a people problem. Perceptions are difficult to read, especially when management-employee communications aren't at peak efficiency.
Learn all you can about caring for people. Just because you're a supervisor doesn't mean that you're more special than anyone else. People have feelings. You had feelings. You used to not be a supervisor. To think about the way that you like to be treated You like to be treated fairly. You want to treat your people fairly. You like to be listened to. Listen to the people that are working for you now.
All adults have a set of values that govern their actions. Right or wrong, good or bad, feelings become involved. Emotions are shown. As the value system functions, it controls our behavior. Our basic personality forms in the early years and stays with us. A 2-year-old child observes his world and models his heroes. Usually his parents or other nurturing adults provide the basic personality that will remain with the child through a lifetime, if not changed. People bring work attitudes to their jobs. These attitudes are already formed as a result of the experiences to which they have been previously exposed. As an example, let's say a young person was never made to be responsible at home. If the youngster broke something, it was replaced by the parents. If he didn't want to clean up his room, someone did it for him. Now, do you think that just because he's working for you, he's going to change his behavior? If he breaks something, the company has money to buy a new one. Why should he be neat and organized? The company should hire someone to do that job. People are prejudging you and the organization based upon their past experiences. If the attitude is good, that's one thing. If it's a poor attitude, you're charged with the responsibility of changing it or providing a significant emotional event for that employee to change it. Let's look at a quick example. One department had difficulty with employees not wearing proper footwear to work. Everyone knew the rules, but it was just difficult to change people's attitude about footwear. The supervisor of this particular department once again explained the rules to his employees and issued a deadline for conforming to company rules. The first day of the new deadline came, and the supervisor was at the time clock when employees reported to work. Those not wearing appropriate footwear were sent home until compliance was achieved. The employees sent home didn't like it, but they experienced a significant emotional event about footwear, and their attitude about compliance with departmental rules was reinforced. We'll be the first to tell you there are a lot of leadership mistakes in this short example, but it does serve a purpose. Employees may know of rules, but they don't always have the same priority of compliance. Perhaps a significant emotional event or attitude adjustment is in order for those employees who choose not to comply with rules. Why did the supervisor wait so long to enforce the rules? Why did employees violate the rules? Leadership, or lack of leadership, can be traced directly to the supervisor and his or her management style. The responsibility of job attitude rests with the supervisor and no one else. Attitude development is a two-way street. It places the responsibility on management and employees. Management treats employees with dignity, respect, and provides a good work environment. Employees have the responsibility of providing good work performance and following the rules. Mutual understanding of these concepts fosters good relations and the development of proper attitudes and motivation. Generally, management consultants and educators will explain that supervisors really can't motivate employees. Supervisors can only provide the environment for employees to motivate themselves. There have been thousands of books written on motivation, so let's spend a few quick moments on motivation. There have been many studies of what motivates employees. Many supervisors believe it is higher wages and job security. Employees throughout the years, in virtually every industry, see it differently. Of course, wages and job security are important, but in the eyes of employees, such things as appreciation for the work done, feeling of belonging, help with personal problems, and fair treatment rank at the top of the list.
You should treat them all the same way, compassionate, understanding, but also, be firm.
One who cares about his employees on a personal level, knows if something is wrong, be able to help, support, care about what's going on in his personal life.
I like to see him be fair but firm with our employees.
I like to see somebody treated fairly across the board, no favoritism.
I believe in putting out a good quality product, ensuring that the personnel is happy and working well.
Pay and job security aren't really changed at the supervisory level, but the intangibles just mentioned are definitely in the hands of supervisors. You can call it motivation or some other terminology, but simple things like job appreciation, respect, dignity, fair treatment, and caring about your employees is what people management is all about. One of the simplest definitions of management is getting things done through other people. Genuine concern for working effectively with people must include the development of the supervisor's own personality and management style. People like to feel good about themselves and their work results. Understanding people can help you lead your workers to increased productivity, improved morale, and good human behavior. It's how you treat others and their perceptions about you and the company that makes the difference. It's not Maslow, McGregor, HERZBERG, Hawthorne, or anything else. It's people. Your management style is your own. Take a little bit from all the theories and create your own leadership style. Just remember that each person is different, with different wants and needs, and it's up to you to manage them into a productive, efficient group. It's communicating, listening, and understanding perceptions. It's an ongoing process that changes on a daily basis. Thank you.
You can't be on another plane up above the people, but you can't always be right down in there with them and go out drinking with them either. A supervisor has to be respected, but a supervisor isn't a god. A supervisor has to earn the respect. He can't demand it. And you earn that respect by working with your people and understanding them and knowing how to motivate them, knowing how to discipline them.